The long career of Morgan Freeman is one of the most respected stories in modern cinema. For decades, audiences around the world have listened to his calm voice and watched his powerful performances in films that have become classics. From dramas to historical films, Freeman has always brought a sense of wisdom, depth, and honesty to the screen. Even in his late 80s, he remains one of the most admired figures in Hollywood. Over the years, he has worked with hundreds of talented performers, but only a few have left a deep personal impression on him. Recently, Freeman spoke about several actors he truly respects and admires. These are not simply famous colleagues. They are artists who influence him, challenge him, and help shape his understanding of acting. Each of these performers brought something unique to their craft. Some showed incredible discipline. Others demonstrated quiet strength, and some inspired Freeman through their dignity and integrity. By looking at these actors, we can better understand what Freeman values most in performance and character. The 6 actors he highlighted include Tim Robbins, Jessica Tandy, Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Sidney Poitier, and Denzel Washington. Each one represents a different lesson about storytelling and life. Their influence goes far beyond the screen because they help shape how Freeman approaches his roles and how he sees the art of acting. When Freeman talked about these people, his words carry weight because they come from decades of experience in one of the toughest industries in the world. His admiration is not casual praise. It is respect earned through years of working together, observing each other, and learning from the quiet moments that happen behind the camera. These actors helped define some of the greatest films ever made, and they also helped Freeman grow into the legendary performer audiences admire today. One of the most meaningful collaborations in Freeman's career came when he worked with Tim Robbins on the film The Shawshank Redemption. This film, which tells the story of friendship and hope inside a prison, has become one of the most beloved movies in cinema history. On screen, Freeman played Red, a thoughtful and experienced prisoner, while Robbins portrayed Andy Dufresne, a man who refuses to lose hope despite years of hardship. Their performances created a powerful emotional bond that audiences still remember today. But behind the scenes, Freeman was just as impressed with Robbins as he was on camera. According to Freeman, Robbins carried himself with a calm and steady energy that influenced everyone on the set. The filming process was demanding and often exhausting. Many scenes were emotionally heavy, and the prison environment added to the intensity of the story. Despite these challenges, Robbins remained focused and patient throughout production. Freeman admired this quality deeply. Robbins never allowed stress or fatigue to affect his performance. Instead, he approached every scene with careful attention and quiet determination. This attitude helped create the natural chemistry between the 2 actors that audiences felt so strongly in the finished film. Freeman later reflected that Robbins seemed to understand something very important about the story they were telling. Hope, the central theme of the film, did not need to be loud or dramatic. It could exist quietly and persistently, even in the darkest situations. Watching Robbins' work reminded Freeman that acting is not always about big emotional moments. Sometimes it is about restraint, patience, and believing in the truth of the story. Their collaboration turned the film into more than just a prison drama. It became a powerful reminder that hope can survive even in the most difficult circumstances. Another unforgettable experience for Freeman came when he worked alongside Jessica Tandy in the film Driving Miss Daisy. This gentle and emotional story follows a relationship between an elderly woman and the driver who slowly becomes her trusted companion. The film explores themes of friendship, aging, and understanding between people from different backgrounds. Freeman had already played the role of Hoke in the stage version of the story before the film was made, but acting opposite Tandy brought new depth to the character. Tandy was an experienced actress with decades of work in theater and film, and her approach to performance impressed Freeman greatly. She did not rely on dramatic gestures or loud emotional displays. Instead, she believed in subtlety and control. Every movement, every pause, and every line of dialogue carried meaning. Freeman once compared working with her to listening to a carefully composed piece of music. The rhythm of each scene felt balanced and natural. Tandy had the rare ability to guide the pace of performance without drawing attention to herself. Her quiet confidence created an atmosphere where other actors felt comfortable and focused. Freeman learned an important lesson from watching her work. Sometimes the most powerful moments in acting come from silence rather than speech. A simple glance or pause can communicate more emotion than a long speech. Off the set, the two actors often spoke about life, aging, and the passage of time. These conversations help build a deeper connection between them. Tandy's disciplined and thoughtful approach to acting left a lasting impression on Freeman. He realized that great performances are not always about showing emotion in obvious ways. Often they are about listening, observing, and allowing the story to unfold naturally. Freeman also formed a strong professional respect for Clint Eastwood, a legendary actor and director known for his calm leadership on film sets. The two first worked together on the Western film Unforgiven, which later won multiple Academy Awards and became one of the most respected Westerns ever made. Eastwood had already spent decades in Hollywood by that time, but his approach to filmmaking remained simple and focused. Freeman noticed immediately that Eastwood did not rely on loud instructions or complicated explanations. Instead, he trusted the actors to understand their characters and bring honesty to their performances. Eastwood believed that silence and patience could be more powerful than long speeches from a director. This quiet leadership created a relaxed environment where actors could concentrate fully on their work. Freeman appreciated this style because it allowed him to explore his character without pressure. The two men shared a similar belief that acting should feel natural and truthful. Their respect for each other grew even stronger when they later reunited for the film $1 Million Baby. In that movie, Freeman delivered a performance that earned him an Academy Award. He often credited Eastwood's directing style for helping him achieve that level of depth. Eastwood did not try to control every detail of a scene. Instead, he created space for actors to discover emotions on their own. Freeman admired this trust and confidence. It showed him that leadership in filmmaking does not always require dominance or authority. Sometimes the most effective leaders are those who step back and allow creativity to flourish. Another actor who left a strong impression on Freeman was Gene Hackman, known for his powerful performances and commanding presence. Hackman had already built a remarkable career before working with Freeman. They appeared together in Unforgiven, where Hackman played the ruthless Sheriff Little Bill Daggett. Freeman was fascinated by Hackman's ability to control a scene without raising his voice or using exaggerated gestures. His presence alone was enough to create tension and authority. Freeman observed that Hackman did not rely on dramatic displays of emotion. Instead, he used small expressions, careful timing, and quiet confidence to bring his characters to life. This subtle approach made his performances feel authentic and unpredictable. Watching Hackman work was like attending a masterclass in acting. Freeman realized that true power on screen often comes from restraint rather than intensity. Hackman could deliver a simple line of dialogue in a way that made the audience feel uneasy or curious about what would happen next. His ability to command attention without demanding it impressed Freeman deeply. The two actors shared scenes that required a delicate balance between tension and respect. Freeman's thoughtful character contrasted with Hackman's unpredictable authority, creating a dramatic dynamic that audiences found compelling. Through this experience, Freeman learned that confidence and control are essential tools for any actor. Hackman demonstrated that great performances are built on patience, discipline, and a deep understanding of human behavior. For Freeman, one of the most important influences in his life and career was Sidney Poitier. Long before Freeman became famous, Poitier had already changed Hollywood by breaking barriers for black actors. In an era when opportunities were limited and stereotypes were common, Poitier proved that talent, dignity, and determination could overcome those obstacles. His performances showed audiences that black characters could be intelligent, strong, and deeply human. Freeman has often said that seeing Poitier succeed gave him hope that he, too, could build a meaningful career in film. Poitier carried himself with grace and confidence both on and off the screen. He never needed to prove his worth through loud gestures or dramatic behavior. His calm presence and strong principles spoke for themselves. Freeman watched carefully and learned from his example. Poitier showed him that success in Hollywood should not come at the cost of personal values. Integrity and self-respect were just as important as talent. This lesson remained with Freeman throughout his career. Even after decades in the industry, he continued to look to Poitier as a guiding figure. The influence was not about acting technique alone. It was about the way a performer carries responsibility and represents something larger than themselves. Poitier's legacy helped open doors for many actors who came after him, including Freeman. His impact on the film industry cannot be measured only by awards or box office success. It can also be seen in the opportunities that later generations were able to pursue. Finally, Freeman has expressed deep admiration for Denzel Washington, one of the most respected actors of modern Hollywood. Washington's performances are known for their intensity, intelligence, and emotional truth. Freeman has often praised him for his commitment to preparation and honesty in acting. According to Freeman, Washington never approaches a role casually. He studies every detail of the character and brings a level of discipline that commands respect from everyone on set. Even though the two actors have not shared many scenes together, Freeman has followed Washington's career closely and appreciates the dedication he brings to every performance. Both actors share similar values about storytelling. They believe that characters should be portrayed with dignity and authenticity, rather than exaggerated drama. Washington's work has helped redefine the image of strong and thoughtful black characters in film, much like Poitier did in an earlier generation. Freeman sees this continuation of excellence as an important step in the evolution of cinema. Washington's ability to combine emotional depth with powerful presence makes him one of the most compelling performers of his time. For Freeman, admiration for Washington goes beyond professional respect. It reflects a shared understanding of the responsibility actors carry when telling meaningful stories. Their careers demonstrate that success in Hollywood is not only about fame or popularity. It is also about discipline, honesty, and the courage to represent humanity in all its complexity. The admiration that Morgan Freeman holds for these remarkable performers also reveals something important about the way he views the art of acting itself. Throughout his career, Freeman has often spoken about the importance of patience, truth, and emotional honesty in storytelling. Unlike many performers who focus on fame or awards, Freeman has always approached acting as a craft that requires discipline and reflection. By looking at the actors he respects the most, we begin to see the principles that shaped his own journey in film. Each of the artists he mentioned represents a different quality that Freeman values deeply. From the calm determination of Tim Robbins to the quiet authority of Gene Hackman, these performers helped him understand how subtlety can create powerful storytelling. In the entertainment industry, where dramatic performances often attract the most attention, Freeman learned that restraint can sometimes be far more effective. He believed that audiences connect with characters when emotions feel real rather than exaggerated. That philosophy has guided many of his most memorable roles. When viewers watch Freeman in films such as The Shawshank Redemption or $1 Million Baby, they often notice how his performances feel calm and thoughtful rather than overly dramatic. This style did not appear suddenly. It developed over many years of observing talented colleagues and learning from their methods. Freeman has explained that watching great actors work can be as valuable as formal training. On a film set, every gesture, pause, and expression becomes part of a larger conversation between performers. The actors he admires most were able to control those moments with remarkable skill. They understood how to let silence speak and how to use small movements to express complex emotions. By studying these artists closely, Freeman refined his own technique and strengthened his confidence as a performer. Their influence became part of the foundation that allowed him to build one of the most respected careers in modern cinema. Another important lesson Freeman gained from these collaborations is the value of trust between actors and directors. Working with experienced professionals, such as Clint Eastwood, showed him that great filmmaking often depends on mutual respect rather than strict control. Eastwood's directing style emphasized simplicity and clarity. Instead of explaining every detail of the scene, he trusted actors to interpret their characters honestly. This approach created a relaxed and focused atmosphere on set, allowing performers to explore emotions more naturally. Freeman appreciated this environment because it encouraged creativity without unnecessary pressure. He has often said that actors perform their best when they feel respected and understood by the people around them. The same principle applied when he worked alongside performers like Jessica Tandy and Gene Hackman. Both actors approached their craft with confidence built on years of experience. They did not need constant direction or dramatic displays to prove their abilities. Instead, they trusted their instincts and allowed scenes to develop organically. For Freeman, witnessing this level of professionalism was both inspiring and educational. He realized that true mastery in acting often appears simple from the outside. The audience may only see a calm conversation between characters, but behind that moment lies careful preparation and deep understanding of human emotions. Freeman carried these lessons with him into later projects. As his reputation grew, younger actors began looking to him for guidance in the same way he had once looked to his mentors. In many ways, Freeman became part of the same tradition of quiet leadership that he admired in others. His presence on set often helped create the same calm atmosphere that had once inspired him. By maintaining this cycle of learning and teaching, Freeman continued the legacy of artistic discipline that he experienced while working with some of the greatest performers in film history. The influence of Sidney Poitier on Freeman's life deserves special attention because it extends far beyond acting technique. Poitier's success in Hollywood represented a historic turning point for black performers. During the early years of his career, the film industry offered very limited opportunities for actors of color. Many roles were based on stereotypes that did not reflect real human experiences. Poitier challenged those limitations by portraying characters who were intelligent, dignified, and morally strong. His performances helped change how audiences and filmmakers view black actors. For a young Freeman watching from the sidelines, this transformation was incredibly powerful. It showed him that it was possible to succeed in an industry that often seemed closed to people who looked like him. Poitier's example also demonstrated that talent alone was not enough. Integrity and self-respect were equally important qualities for an artist. Freeman admired the way Poitier handled fame with grace and responsibility. He understood that every role carried a message about how people see the world and each other. That understanding influenced the choices Freeman later made in his own career. Many of his characters reflect wisdom, compassion, and moral strength. These qualities mirror the values that Poitier represented decades earlier. Even after Freeman achieved international fame, he continued to acknowledge Poitier as one of the figures who made his success possible. Their connection represents a powerful link between generations of actors who worked to expand opportunities in Hollywood. The progress seen in the film industry today owes much to pioneers like Poitier who refused to accept unfair limitations. By following that example, Freeman helped continue the movement toward more inclusive storytelling in modern cinema. That Freeman's respect for Denzel Washington also reflects his appreciation for actors who combine talent with discipline. Washington's career has been defined by performances that are both emotionally intense and carefully controlled. From historical dramas to crime stories, he has shown the ability to transform completely into each character he portrays. Freeman has often praised Washington for the seriousness he brings to preparation. According to Freeman, Washington studies every role with great attention to detail, ensuring that each scene feels truthful and grounded in reality. This commitment reminds Freeman of the same dedication he admired in earlier generations of performers. Both actors believe that storytelling carries a responsibility to portray human experiences honestly. They also share a belief that strength on screen does not require constant displays of aggression or loud emotion.